अभी हम चलते हैं श्री कमल सिंह जी हमारे साथ जुड़े हैं। श्री कमल सिंह जी is the executive director of UN Global Compact Network India chapter, who was initiated several path-breaking initiatives and has won a huge applause from UNGC, New York, and its other stakeholders. We are pleased to have him on our panel of guest of honors. कमल सिंह जी, आपका बहुत बहुत स्वागत करते हैं।
Thank you. Thank you, Hamraj ji and Dr. L.C. Sharma ji and many distinguished speakers. It's truly a pleasure and privilege to be part of this important initiative organized by Institute of Integrated Rural Development, Shimla. And I must compliment the entire effort for initiating this dialogue on livelihood, the alternative means. As I come from UN Global Compact Network India, I would like to give you some facts how it is proportionally increasing the importance not only in India but globally. As per the International Labour Organization, ILO, 1.6 million workers, representing the most vulnerable in the labor market, have suffered massive damage to their capacity to earn a living. The income drop of informal work amounts to 60% in the 1 month of the crisis, and no alternative source of income. These workers, their families will have no means to survive. In the wake of present pandemic, ILO estimates a rise of global unemployment between 5.3 million and 24.7 million from a base level of 188 million in 2019. So that's where the scale is. And as COVID-19 disrupt millions of livelihoods in India, the future looks daunting. Projections show that in the worst case scenario, 104 million more people in India could fall below the poverty line. The country migrant workers report losing 1 to 3 weeks of work and income loss of 4,000 to 10,000 per worker rupees, approximately US dollar 50 to 130. Impact of pandemic disaster on livelihood. So that is one more factor. And there is also happening, all of you know, the reverse migration. While lockdown has affected broadly the three kinds of activities in rural areas, that is agriculture, allied activities, local non-farm sector, rural urban migration. It is migration that has severely affected. Equally, we also face the problem of supply chain disruption. Due to COVID-19, virus supply chains have been paralyzed, development almost stopped, and the durability of our global economy has been called into doubt. And I would like to also look at the how we have to increase the rural outreach. A wide variation can be seen across schemes with the direct transfer like the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, PMKSY, and the Pradhan Mantri Jan Dhan Yojana, PMJDY, show a higher outreach and could be helpful during this crisis. A little over 40% of the people who have institutional loan can avail the benefit of a loan moratorium. Reach of Manirga and SSG can play a very crucial role. In India, I also see the involvement of women self-help groups combating COVID-19. Women self-help groups in India has risen to extraordinary challenge of COVID-19, and they are meeting shortfalls in masks, sanitizers, protective equipment, running community kitchens, fighting misinformation, and even providing banking and financial solution to far-flung communities. In over 90% of India districts away from the limelight of the cities, SSG women are producing face masks and running community kitchens, delivering essential food supplies, sensitizing people about health and hygiene, and combating misinformation. I definitely play a very important role, therefore, for the women. The women movement that started as a leap of faith some 15 years ago has proved to be an invaluable resource in these difficult times. Our partnership with the India government in building social capital among the rural poor has paid off in spades, said Gayatri Acharya, who leads the World Bank's 750 million support for India National Rural Livelihoods Mission NRLM in his India flagship program to reduce poverty by mobilizing poor rural women into self-help groups and building community institutions of the poor. So therefore, the importance of sustainable livelihood, which IRD has been championing, is very, very important at this point of time. The livelihood sustainable when it can offer a stable, dignified means of living, even at times of crisis, change without undermining the natural resource base. That is where I always compliment Dr. L.C. Sharma for initiating in his own way this kind of effort. And since I come from UNGC, the sustainable development, we also see and the relevance of the sustainable development goal, key to recovery. Because if you look at the overall 17 SDG, there is an indirect connect with one goal to another. So they are interlinked. As we enter the decade of action, India reiterates its commitment to principles of sustainable development and the targets set under the SDG framework. We will continue to engage with multiple stakeholders for accelerating progress towards the SDG and are determined to keep together the call of collective efforts for inclusive growth, Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka all means that sustainable as its core. For Indian government response to pandemic has been articulated through PM Modi vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat or a self-reliant India, which also is a efforts towards mitigating the risk. This has been operationalized through a stimulus package of $276 million, which is 10% of India's GDP, and includes several reform relief measures across numerous sectors to protect lives and livelihoods, and spur investment and employment, and safeguard the interest of frontline workers. The Indian government has quickly responded to the crisis and announced a 22 billion relief package, which includes food and cash transfer. Several state governments have announced their own support package. The central government relief package called Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Prime Minister Plan for Well-being of the Poor is aimed at providing safety nets for those who are hit hardest by the COVID-19 lockdown. So before I conclude, I see the 6 positive trends for next decade of travel sustainable livelihood. What I would like to say, the social entrepreneurs driving the solutions. Number 1, beneficiaries becoming actively involved in policy making. This is where we have to bring them and empower them. Policies and projects often found when stakeholder involved in the policy making, the process is missing. So we have to get institutions like IRDA into the main stream of decision making. When such things happen, I'm sure the outcome will be much bigger and better. And we also have to empower social entrepreneurs that have shown so essential to evolve everyone in the solution. Number 2, women taking greater control of the finances, because we have seen in the last few years women becoming a major stakeholder in the whole livelihood sector, because they are more productive, better at managing multiple challenges, including capital. Using technology to develop innovative solutions could be the another one. Using innovative business model emerging from the village level, and 6th will be the collaboration and awareness. And I would like to especially appreciate the role of IRD has been intervening to create livelihood opportunities with the local economies through some of the tested initiatives which have started showing now very good results. These initiatives I have seen from the brochure of creating employment opportunities, manufacturing protective face mask in Kasganj and Chandoli in Uttar Pradesh, and promoting oyster mushroom cultivation, which Dr. Sharma mentioned in his own address. And in 2 in Himachal Pradesh, this is happening, and supplying a bacteria virus chemical Pathagon free vegetables on the doorstep of the people in Simla, and production of spirulina chick for immunity enforcement. So with these kind of initiative that if IIRD can do, and many others can do it. So I will like to say that the effort has been very encouraging and motivating. We have to see how we can encourage institutions like IRDA to come forward further, scale up their operation, and mitigate the risk of making people more poorer or more, in terms of the food, shelter, and all. I think to that extent, it has been a great job. So I want to finally say thank you very much for initiating this dialogue, and this should continue. There have been some problem of internet, no issue. Only when we try, only when we do something, the problem will come. So at least idea has proven itself that yes, we are there to do it. Even there are challenges, it can be from technology, but we will deliver. So thank you very much for having me here, and look forward to continued support to such efforts going forward. Thank you.
We are grateful to Shri Kamal Singh Ji, Executive Director, United Nations Global Compact Network India, for his words of wisdom, especially on such initiatives aligned with the Sustainable Development Goals. And we significantly appreciate his stand to include ground level agencies in decision making process. Thank you so much for today's participation, sir. Thank you so much.